I went back to the drawing board and redesigned, rebuilt my seat post pulling tool. The first design didn't quite work right. It kind of just broke itself. If you didn't see the video, I'll include a link in the description. Go check that out. But anyway, so I made some major changes to it, and go ahead and see if this thing works. The bottom of the tool still goes through the bottom bracket there. We're using some old cups and a 5/8 inch bolt, and I'm using the same little pillar parts. I replaced the little cross beam here with a 2x2 inch piece of square tubing, and this is a 1/4 inch thick, so it's much beefier than the previous cross beam that crushed down. I'm no longer using a hydraulic jack. I replaced that with using like a threaded rod. It's a 5/8 inch threaded rod with fine threading, so it's like 18 threads per inch. And so like I have a washer and a nut up here. Actually, it's part of a 5/8 inch coupler up here, so it has more threads engaged with the threaded rod. And I was trying to figure out a good way to connect the rod here with the parts down below. And so what I did was I actually used a piece of the 2-inch square tubing here, drilled a 5/8 inch hole there and connected the rod there. And then I have like a 3/8 inch stainless steel bolt going through there, connecting to these little bars here. And then those bars connect down to through a hole, another 3/8 inch bolt down there through the seat post. I could possibly go ahead and replace this bolt up here with maybe a 1/2 inch bolt, and the same goes down there with like a 1/2 inch bolt down there. But I'm gonna see how the 3/8 inch bolts work. So we'll see. I think this will be strong enough to pull this out, but we'll see if the threaded rod, how that does. Hopefully it doesn't like strip out as I'm tightening it down. Okay, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna spray a little bit of penetrating oil in there. I've already sprayed a bunch in there before, but kind of like a little bit more can't hurt. And I'm using a Cono Croil, Air Croil. This is like real good penetrating oil. Get real tight. Possibly something I can use is a handle to get more leverage on this thing. It's under a lot of pressure right there and is not seeming to move much. Well, now while it's under a lot of pressure there, I tightened this pretty good, and it's under a lot of pressure there. I'm going to try like heating the seat tube there with a heat gun and just see if maybe that'll cause it to let go a little bit. Well, it's still not releasing. Let's see if I can get it tighter. This is like one of the reasons I was looking at that hydraulic jack, figuring that I could get a lot more pressure out of that hydraulic jack, because this is getting like really freaking tight. Well, something popped a little bit. I'll use a bigger wrench with bigger leverage here. Hey, it moved a little bit. It came out a little bit. It's coming out. And I got it out. Success. Now, one of the things I was concerned about is whether there would be like any damage to the bottom bracket shell and the welds or anything around there, but there's no, it doesn't look like there's any damage at all. And these cups that I screwed in are unscrewing perfectly fine. So it's not like the shell was like warped at all like that, you know, from all that pressure. So that's good. And likewise, there doesn't seem to be any damage up here around the top of the seat tube. So everything looks good up there. Well, I think the tool worked great. There's still lots of room for improvement. One thing I might do is attach a handle across here that extends out. So it's some place for me to hold and get more leverage as I'm turning this nut up here. Also, I want to probably hack down this threaded rod. There's way more threaded rod up here than I really need. I could probably hack it off around here and still have enough threaded rod to work on probably the smallest frame bikes that I'm going to work on. These pillars held up pretty well, but something I might do in the future is replace them with like a heavier gauge steel square tubing. I think it'd just be a little bit more solid. Now, one thing I noticed is that this little coupler nut here was gouging into this washer as I was tightening it down. You can kind of see how it's just all, you know, chewed up in there. So one thing I could possibly do is replace this little coupler thing here with a regular 5/8 inch nut. It'll be wider, and so it'll concentrate less pressure like on this washer there, so it's less likely to gouge the washer. The problem being it's going to be not as tall, so it'll be less threads engaged on there, so we're more likely to maybe strip out this thing. So I don't know, I have to play with that and see how that works, but it worked pretty well. Now on this particular extraction, I actually drilled into the seat post and pulled it up like that. On another extraction, I might first try going into this hole there, and I'd have to make some sort of new attachment thing here so that I could try pulling up from there to see if I could pull that out using that. That way, if I can manage to pull that out like that, I might be able to reuse the seat post after I clean it up. But now this is drilled, so this is like toast. But anyway, I think this tool was a success, even though there's room for improvement. I would be a little bit leery, or careful, I guess is a better word, on what frames I'm going to try this on, because there is a huge amount of torque in there. I'd be worried about breaking a good frame. So I'm still going to use caution in using this tool, but it is kind of a cool tool, and I think it's going to be useful. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Hopefully you found this video useful or interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and click the little bell so you get notified of new videos that come out. I'm always coming out with new videos. I'm over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page. I post a lot of stuff over there. And I have a webpage, rjthebikeguy.com. Go over there, sign up to the page. I have stuff over there as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.